Restream is being annoying. Oh my goodness. Hang on, we're doing a captcha? Captcha? Actually, I don't even know how to say it. No, it's not captcha. Even though I always want to say okay. Hang on, we're selecting buses right now. I think that's all the buses. Alright, good deal. And we're turning our stream on so we can see. And then I think we're good. All set. What do we got? We have PPZ for the opponents. ZPP for our team. I think Linnea's picking random, I believe.
Django86 just resubbed for 13 months.
Yo, thank you for the 13 months, Spring. I appreciate it, man. Appreciate the support. Alright, it's going to be a very biased cast. The red team is my team. Yeah. I don't know who picked random on their team. I didn't get to see for the blue team. In this 3v3, probably the enemy. Yeah, I would say almost definitely the enemy, to be honest. But there are some chickens involved, and you never know. Okay, we're rooting for the upset. Mopon must have gone for overpull. Yeah, so Mopon went for overpull. So slightly later lings, a little bit less lings, but he's going to have a much better economy, so his second hatchery is going to be much quicker. It is a mirror matchup where all three players are shared choke. We have Thermostat versus Jitala here on the top left, which should probably be Jitala favored. Simon, definitely one of the, definitely a chicken, alright? We did get a Zealot from Happy, which is nice, so it's going to be easier to hold the Zerg this way. They can actually even put pressure on the Zerg. We're going to have that Ling Speed finishing first because we are 9-pull versus overpull. So there's a small window here. Okay, Ling Speed actually finishing now for Mopon. I was going to say there actually might be a small window where they could maybe even force the Sungun or get some damage done. But Happy going to be getting distracted now with this counterattack from 8x. Does have enough Zealots to defend as long as he can control pretty well. Does lose one probe already though. We have to be worried now about the triple Zealot getting into the mineral line, and there goes another probe. Third probe going to go down. Fourth probe in danger here. Now, one thing that's good for Happy, we're not pulling our probes at all, which really isn't great. So we're going to lose way more probes than we should have, but that's okay. We at least clean some Zealots up, so he's going to have that Zealot advantage for a little bit, but definitely way down on the economy now. Lost a lot of probes. And eventually Mopon is going to overtake Linnea. Linnea does sneak in that extra drone now, though. Which could actually help him kind of maintain this control, but yeah, there will be a window where Mopon's actually going to surpass him in lings, and it's going to be pretty difficult for Linnea. I mean, you see kind of what I'm talking about. We're getting the extra production out of the second hatchery before Linnea is. And this is just the advantage of overpull versus 9-pull. You do lose that early game control as the not overpull player, but you have the stronger macro pretty close behind that. Looks like blue team both going for 4 gates, so it's just going to be all Zealots. Happy going to push in here, and this is going to be a pretty bad trade. We're going to lose 1 Zealot here, and yeah, not great for Happy. And Mofon going to use that economic advantage and breakthrough, and it's looking pretty bad for the blue team, or sorry, the red team. And Linnea's probably just going to die here. I mean, kind of worst case scenario matchup, having Mofon and Linnea both on Zerg. Mofon just always going to be that stronger Zerg. And again, I don't know if Mofon was the picking random. I imagine he is, and he just... If so, then he landed on his best, and Linnea, I think, his worst is Zerg in this scenario. So, a bit unfortunate. And yeah, he's going to get overwhelmed here. He's going to be able to push this back at least. But it's going to keep going from Mofon, and I don't know, maybe he'll be able to stabilize. I mean, he's got the defender's advantage. He's getting a decent trade. In the meantime, we have the cannons going up here at the choke. If cannons get up and he can actually block him in, that's going to be great. 8X is going to push Happy back, though, because of that early game damage. And Linnea just barely holding on here. Jitala pulling the plug on his computer, worried that this block is going to happen against him here in the top left. If he drops here, that's unfortunate because the rules do state that after a certain number of minutes passed, I don't remember if it was like 3 or 4, that you have to continue playing and the game is going to count. So this is pretty much the dream scenario for Red Team if Jitala actually drops here. Because it was looking pretty doomed. Okay, barely gonna stabilize his internet, it looks like. I say it looks doomed, but that actually might not be true. Red Team getting a good block here, and Happy, I thought, was losing here at the choke. Man, I actually want to see this game play out. It's really unfortunate if he actually ends up getting dropped. And there he goes. I'm actually really sad about that because I think my team was actually favored here. The only fear would be Linnea dying, but both Protosses were getting contained. And actually, Linnea wasn't even going to die here. He's been stabilizing with these trades. I actually think my team was in a really, really good position. But GG's going to be called. And Red Team does get the win. Now, my genuine, unbiased opinion is that it was becoming very Red Team favored. So it is an unfortunate drop, but I think it was actually swinging in our favor. True, it's the Spring Cup, yeah. I'm muting because I'm eating, by the way, while we wait. We're just waiting for Ajit to let it come back, I think. Hello, Richard. Where has Jitala gone? Alright, looks like you made it back. Starting to get worried. Alright, heading into game 2. And yeah, it is Mofon playing random. Along with Linnea, everybody else picking Protoss. The tournament rules are that when doing 3v3, you're allowed 2 picks and 1 random. Alright, so Mofon this time on Protoss, Linnea this time on Terran. We have ended up in a game where there are no Zergs. And in my honest opinion, no Zerg games are the best games. I think Zerg skews the matchup, or the matchups a little too much. So, I imagine we're going to see 2 gates out of all the ones that pick Protoss. We'll see what Mofon wants to go for, and we'll keep an eye on Linnea. Looks like, though, he's going to be playing Bio. Jitala seems to be having some internet problems or computer problems or something going on. Which is unfortunate. Not sure what we're going to do tonight. We might end up canceling the match. Hopefully that doesn't happen. What's up, SCV? Yes, it is best of 3. Right? I think it is. I think it's best of 3, but all 3 games are played. I think. I actually need to talk to BB or Last or somebody and get a proper understanding of the rules, because I actually don't even know. I'm just here to hang out and have a good time, you know? Alright, this time Mofon getting Terran, Linnea getting Zerg, so this is definitely red team favored, although it is shared choke PT, so races I say a Zerg or red team favored, but I would actually call this blue team favored because of spawns. That being said, if Happy is comfortable with goons, it would be a good goon spawn and a good goon game. That being said, Happy is kind of like BB. I don't think I don't think I've ever seen him go goons before. Which, you know, BB's gone goons a couple times, I guess. Now, Linnea did go for overpull, so a little bit economic, which is a good thing. Overpull definitely stronger than 9-pull here because the enemy team does not have a Zerg. Granted, I don't think they know that yet. I didn't see if we scouted 12 or not. But we see the Protoss at 9. See the Protoss at 11. And, yeah, looks like we did scout 12, so fully aware of the Terran, but both Protoss is going Zealots, which is fine. You can go for cannons here, would be really, really strong. We see the ping there. They are in voice comms. So Linnea probably explaining to him that it's 3 games in total and every one counts. Okay, that's what I thought, but I wasn't 100% sure. So thank you, moderator BBQ. We see the forge coming down from 1 o'clock. This is good. The faster these cannons get up, the more secure they are going to feel for this game. And he can basically make a ton of cannons because it is going to be Academy from 12 o'clock. But if we wait too long, then that bio is going to be able to come out with the Zealots and actually stop the cannons from coming up. So this is also very far back, which is a little bit dangerous. Can you get a better sword? The only sword. What do you want from me? Okay, I'm a little concerned about the cannons being too far back, but if we get them like up here, it's totally fine. We really, really need to start them though. This is pretty far away. It does kind of leave a bit of an opening here, but they're going to come out and they're going to fight now, and this is a very crucial moment about whether or not we can clean this up and get those cannons up. So, yeah, this is kind of a make or break moment. Ling's going to be chasing the Marines around, killing the Marines. Zealots going to be cleaned up, but we have the additional Zealots coming from behind. We need to quickly get our Zealots up here, but it looks like they're going to be able to hold. And yeah, we have 2 cannons coming. Red team going to clear this up, and this is really good for red team. Yeah, like Fork said, very good link control from their Zerg to get on top of those Marines and not allow them to fire. And now with this cannon coming up, this position is going to be secured. We're going to throw down some extra cannons. Just might want to make sure we get a little something down here so they're not able to just run past. Like I said, the position does scare me a little bit. I mean, Zealots could just run past this pretty safely. But yeah, with this going up now they can focus on 9 o'clock, who's trying to get cannons up kind of desperately, does have 2 on the way. Now it's going to come down to, can 9 o'clock survive until tanks are out? Because once tanks are out, there's going to be a very strong force coming out of here from the blue team. And yeah, defensive cannons are going to be able to come up for 9 o'clock. Gas just now starting for 6 o'clock. Nothing for top right because Thermostat is massing cannon. Which is okay, because he doesn't know if the Terran's going for a bio bust or not. So, good start for red team, but this is where it gets a little bit scary. I actually don't like the 3-hatch Ling. We're going to need tech to deal with the Terran now because they're not going to be able to kill 9 o'clock. He can go for a 3-hatch Ling and go just mass, and they might try to bust him before 12 bust out. So if that's what they're going for, I can understand why he's going 3-hatch. If not, I would love to have seen tech instead. Yeah, we do see drones popping now, so he is going to go for economy getting scanned there. And they see that he's just on no lair, not even mining gas at the moment, so blue team actually should be feeling really comfortable right now. They're going to go for this attack on 9 o'clock, it looks like. I mean, it's a lot of Zealots with these 3 cannons. And again, it's going to come down to, can he hold it or will he die here? It's going to be kind of a big... yeah, this is just another important moment in this game. Ford cannon going to get targeted and go down. Not a whole lot of Zealots here for blue, but SimCity going to make it very hard for red to get in there. As well as the probe drill, but Zealots going down. These cannons being targeted down by these Zealots now. First one goes down, second one going low, and they actually look like they're barely going to break 9 o'clock. So 9 o'clock is going to go down. Now blue team feeling a little bit desperate potentially, but they cannot go for this. There's far too many cannons here. Going to buy a lot of time with this tank. Okay, they're just getting in position for this tank. But 9 o'clock is dead, and now we are in that 3v2 situation. Looks like we got goons in goon range coming from 6 o'clock. Thermostat just massing cannons. He's just going to be trying to buy time, essentially, for his team. Mofon even going to kill this depot so that it just gets out of the way. And I'm a little worried about 1 o'clock not really being useful after this is broken. There's not really anything coming from behind this. Rope count also a little bit low, throwing down the gas now, but typically you do cannon block and you're working towards like DT and Templar and stuff like that. Mofon, strangely, really wanted to kill that. Oh, it was hitting his tank. These two cannons are hitting the tank, I think. So, ironically, lots of Marines going down and the tank dying there, so really unfortunate for Mofon stepping too far forward with that tank. And so these cannons are actually finding a lot of value now. Lurk coming down for Linnea. Drone count looking pretty healthy. We got 4 in this top gas, because why not? Would love to see that second gas even come down with this Spire. Happy in the meantime, working towards that Templar tech. Has a decent army, and like I said, with all that bio going down, it looks a lot less scary now for Mofon. Even a hidden base here for 8X might gonna try to sneak, but actually gonna get scouted very quickly by Simon, or Thermostat. I'm wondering if he was looking to expand there even. But yeah, at least these buildings gonna buy a lot of time. In the meantime, we have 8X. Right? Not 8X, sorry, Jitala. Maybe working towards a storm drop, potentially does have the Observer coming out because of DT, which is typically what's expected. I'm happy, hopefully working towards those High Templar are gonna need Storm, not DT. Looks like we canceled something, didn't get to see what it was. Spire, a little over halfway done now, and is Red Team gonna be able to stop this army coming out? It's a lot of Zealots for 8X with this bio. Cannon's gonna get a tiny bit of damage here. And we'll see where they want to push. If they want to push to Simon, that's actually ideal for Red Team, and it does look like that's where they want to go, so that's pretty much best case for Red. Even if Simon dies at this point, it's okay. He's just looking to buy time. But Ling's actually coming back behind this and picking off 2 tanks. A really nice pick for Linnea there. A lot of these goons going to come up, and there are a lot of Dragoons with this Ling's. Marines not getting on top of these Lings and getting a bunch of those kills while the Zealots are still alive. The Ling's actually finding a lot of value here. And yeah, just look at the goon count of it. With a little bit of micro, we can clean this up very easily. But it's a lot of goons to try and micro. A lot of extra Zealots here coming from the bottom. Is this all Happy? Man, Happy has... Okay, some of it's Thermostat. Okay, this is Thermostat Zealots. You can tell because they're running off into the middle of nowhere. But yeah, got a bunch of cannons up, at least buy himself some time for this push. Mita's now hatching for Linnea, so Red Team actually playing this pretty well overall. Very happy with their performance. I thought they'd be very unfavored, but now we have DTs coming out for Jitala, and we have no Observer for the Red Team. But a lot of cannons here. Again, they're going to buy time. They're picking up some units, just making it difficult for Blue Team to push into them. And just continuing to build cannons backwards. Dude loves his cannons. If these 2 pylons go down, that's going to empower everything. This DT being super annoying. We have no Robo. No cannons. No... Okay, we have an Overlord in the mineral line at least. Be careful with our Muta. These are a precious resource. One does go down for free. Got that Queen's Nest potentially going to work towards Hive. I'd love to see an expansion if we want to go Hive here. Up to 6 Muta now. DT coming out for Simon, just picking off a few more Marines. But like I said, there are Observers out. And this one DT still running around just being annoying. Not getting a lot of kills, but definitely making the Red Team uncomfortable. And Overlord finally shows up to clean that up. I'm gonna try and push into the base here though, but Simon's still making cannons backwards. Just trying to survive as long as he can and buy as much time as he can. Now with a lot of the Marines going down, these Mutas not as much under threat anymore. Only 4 Marines here. The Mutas could actually just clean the Marines up and clear all this out. Hey, what's up, Robert? And yeah, going to save Simon. He bought enough time with all of his cannons. A lot of tanks here for Mofon coming out. And hopefully we have High Templar coming out soon. High Templar obviously amazing against Bio Tank. Mito's getting here into 12 o'clock though and clearing up a lot of these SCVs. And yeah, just now being very annoying for Mofon to deal with. Marine count very, very low, so the Mitos can just continue to wreak havoc here. A lot of Mutas Hive on the way. Looks like we are working towards that expansion, so very good by Linnea. Still no observatory, or even a rowboat. They just don't care, but luckily the DTs have stopped from blue team. Now here is the storm against the bio tank. You see just how much damage it can do. But this Archon getting a lot of good hits on the Muta there. And clean up these tanks on the backside, and blue team just running out of steam now. Only a few Marines here trying to show up and protect. Oh, gotta be careful. Okay, we at least killed it. Got the High Templar without the storm. And the situation is looking more and more dire for the blue team. Mito's getting a lot of value. Greater Spire on the way. Might be the final nail in the coffin when a bunch of Guardians can come out. Okay, another couple good hits though from the Archons, kills a few more Muta. Lots of High Templar now out for Simon. Simon, not a big believer in making probes. It's alright. I think he made more cannons than probes this game. But chicken gonna do what chickens do. It's okay. Nobody's judging. I'm not judging anyway. Happy, very healthy on 2 bases right now. Very good probe count between the 2 bases. Pretty good gateway count. Going to be adding a few more. Even making arbiters now is happy. So you really like to see that. Just might need something like that for finishing the game off if the Guardians don't do the trick. So I really like seeing the arbiters. Because it's very hard to break this choke. I mean, yeah, definitely not easy. Mopon definitely a little bit low on the SCVs. I think he lost a lot to the Muta. And here we go. Mutating the Guardians here on the right side of Mopon's base. Now we do have Archons and Storms. Archons, I guess, not very good against Guardian, but we're going to have a decent number of Storm if he can get his High Templar up there to defend. So as long as Linnea splits, though, there's not a whole lot of Templar. So might should be okay. Additional bases coming down for red team. They're just continuing to grow and grow. Simon casting all of the storms at once. Nobody told him the damage doesn't stack. He just doesn't know. The Guardian's coming on now. We do have 3 High Templar with storms here. It's going to be a lot of Guardian. We did lose one to turrets, but that happens. They tend to push each other into the turrets. No movement still from Jitala's High Templar. Yeah, I'm not sure how they're going to deal with this. I mean, if he's clumped like this, the High Templar could get a lot of kills. I can't believe we're not asking for High Templar to come help us with this. The Bio not going to do well against this many Guardians. And, yeah, Mopon gonna GG, but I think it's fine. I mean, Happy's maxed. Right, like red team's so far ahead, even if he got the High Templar, it's not going to save him at that point. So, GG. my team's gonna take the 2-0 lead. We are super proud right now. So, sorry if you heard me chewing. I muted my desktop audio instead of my mic. So if it picked up on that, I apologize. On the spot. Hang on. We're choking. The spawns and races very similar to this game. Kind of crazy. Alright, sorry about that. Eating some Fritos. My throat was dried out. Tried talking, my voice said no. Alright, so we got Mopon on Terran again, and Linnea on Zerg again. Now, we'll see if Mopon goes for bio again. It looks like he's going to. But that's pretty expected. And nothing wrong with it either. Linnea did go for 9 pull this time instead of overpull. So a little bit less of an eco opening, which is unfortunate because he's not against the Zerg, so it's no real advantage that comes out of 9 pull here versus overpull. But yeah, once again, shared choke, you see the ping come down, it's like, alright guys, we're going to do the same thing again. So we're probably going to see that same battle that we saw last game. Now, Linnea might actually have a few more lings, or not might actually. He will have a few extra lings because it is 9 pull instead of overpull. You don't get any advantage from that eco by the time those cannons would have came up. So he will have a few more lings, a little bit earlier speed if they end up needing it. And yeah, basically we're gonna see the exact same thing. Even Simon spawning top right again, so we're gonna go for that repeat of the last game. And they might try and fight earlier, but that would actually be worse. The earlier they fight, the worse it's going to be for blue team. Like, ideally it's the point right before cannons are done. but it's still almost always going to be red team favored in this scenario. It's going to come down to how well do the Lings get on top of the Marines again. So here we go. It's basically the same fight. Lings are going to run up here and try to help the Zealots, and then fall back to help with the flanking Zealots. But this is a much better setup for the blue team. The cannon's going to be jumped on by these Zealots right away. And even though red is going to win this fight, it at least is going to kill one of the cannons. But it looks like that's going to be it. So yeah, once again, pretty much the exact same scenario. Red team going to win this fight. And yeah, I mean, this is pretty much always how it's going to be. You can't really win this fight. If you ask my opinion, save your units, go for factory until 9 o'clock to start making cannons, right? But this time, they traded so well that they're actually just going to be breaking through and attacking here. I mean, Mopon actually just has 2 medics and no fighting units at the moment. Medics going to be sent to the choke just to tank some damage, I guess. Firebat's going to come out, though, with these medics with stim, and actually going to be able to fight these Lings off now. Targeting the gateway, not great. Okay. Does at least retarget there. Lings have to stay away from this 2 Firebat, 2 medic army, surprisingly. Yeah, red team kind of blundering a little bit here. Focus in this gateway is not important at all. Firebats are going to go down at least. But yeah, this was kind of a bad attack from red, to be honest. I actually don't like it. Cannons are up for 9 o'clock as well now. Obviously going into the mineral line would have been great, or just if they'd attacked Terran, they didn't know. Well, they should have known. I mean, they killed all the bio. The Terran's almost always the easier target. Certainly killing the gateway, not worth it, so not much damage being done to blue team after that fight. Tanks are going to be started soon. We do have siege mode started. Tank will be next. You would think, anyway. And Simon doing the same thing, but I mean, the difference is they didn't kill 9 o'clock this time. They tried to push their luck 12 o'clock, and they just did not attack very well. That being said, they're still in a pretty good position, so I don't hate it for them. Linnea pretty much did the exact same build. I mean, it looks like everybody basically did the same thing. They might try to kill 9 o'clock, but I mean, 9 o'clock is way too well set up right now. They would not be able to kill him. I do not believe. Well, that being said, Thermostat actually doing a little bit better with those workers this time. Actually, a lot better. Looks like he's playing much better this game, macro-wise. And the goons are a little bit faster, so overall, I feel like red team's doing kind of the same thing, but they're doing it a little bit better as far as the macro state goes. Like I said, obviously, the huge difference is we have not killed 9 o'clock, and 9 o'clock is not going to die anytime soon. Tank out with siege mode now, and I gotta say, it's looking pretty scary for the red team right now. Don't think Mofon's gonna make that same mistake that he made last game, losing all that bio. Yeah, definitely worried for red team. It's going to be very hard for them to fight this off, but Happy going to be massing a lot of Dragoon, and Happy did chill us last game. His macro is actually very strong. He's got his Cyber Core almost done. So it's going to get pulled up here and died, essentially for free. And we'll see if they can clear this army. We got our Spire on the way. Second gas, I imagine, will be coming down relatively soon. Is this Gitala here? Yes, it is. Started finishing up and starting Corsair right away. Yeah, this is gonna be so hard for the red team. They have enough to like squash this army, but I don't know if they can find the angle for it. This is a pretty hard angle for them to go through. It's a lot of Marines with stem and zealots to tank for them. And then of course you'd have to worry about the Gitala flank as well. Observer is going to be out soon, or already out for blue team, so DT is not going to get any damage. Potentially. Happy supply though, very high. Macroing very, very well. We even got double upgrades pumping. Corsair are out now. Looks like we have a few meter on the way. Yeah, this is tough. It's a tough scenario. Happy's gonna have to work some magic. And this setup is tough, bleeding off a few goons for free. Linnea losing that Overlord and getting supply blocked. Coming on these meter, we're at 3 Corsair already. 4th one on the way. Happy's gotta fix this rally, we're bleeding off goons. DT is out. We have 1 Overlord over here. Ward detection. Expansion for Happy on the way. Linnea not realizing. Okay, there he goes. He found the Overlord. 1 DT checking bottom left, making sure there's no expansion there. But I mean, this position is so hard to break with what red has. They actually might could full commit to 9 o'clock and kill him at this point. With everything. And you would just have to hope that Simon can stay alive. If they full committed to 9 o'clock, they actually could kill him. Simon does have a High Templar out. He's got a few cannons up here. Big Zealot swell going towards Linnea. Linnea in a lot of trouble right now. Not looking good for red team, guys. Gitala supply very, very high. Getting on top of the Sunken, and after that, there's just not anything to stop the Zealots from wreaking havoc. All of Muta go down with 5 Slayer left over. And it looks like this game is over. Unfortunate, definitely a missed opportunity in the beginning. They had a chance to kill the Terran for a while. He had literally 0 units, and even had 2 medics pop out after those units, so... Unfortunately, red team not realizing. And, yeah, just well executed by blue team, pushing out, macroing well, slow pushing, knowing that there's not any real rush. I mean, Terran's just going to get so much value. The Zerg having to recover from that 9 pool opening. Gonna go for what looks like a storm drop up here, but there's a bunch of cannons up here. Can still be pulled off, but I don't think Happy is gonna be able to work that magic that they need from him. Oh, it's Reaver. Well, the storm killed enough probes that the Reaver drop was worth it, I think. Linnea gonna call GG, and that's gonna end this series 2-1 in favor of my team. Does mean that Mofon's team does get 1 point for the tournament, though. And I promise. We're gonna talk to Bebe or Last SCR tomorrow, and we'll get a proper breakdown of the tournament and kind of how it's all gonna work, so that I have answers for you next time. There is one more series gonna be played tonight, but I'm actually losing my voice already, and I feel kind of tired anyway. So I'm going to go to bed early. We're gonna hit the ladder again tomorrow. Yeah. I'm gonna hit the ladder tomorrow, and I'll do some BGH tomorrow night, almost definitely. I need to practice with my teammates. We're actually playing Sunday night, so my 3v3 match is Sunday. We have an extremely hard matchup. But maybe we can pull it off. We'll see. But I'm gonna head to bed. Thanks for watching, guys. I appreciate it. Hope you guys have a good night. Saturday? Wait, we're playing tomorrow night? Oh no. Oh, that's right. My Primal Core tournament match is Sunday. Alright, so I'm not practicing with my team at all. We're going in blind. We don't even know what strategy we're using yet. Alright, so I'll be on tomorrow night then. With the 3v3, but I'll do ladder during the day. Okay. Alright, you guys have a good night.